Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Head 2. Hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So we're going to talk about in this video, the Colorado Rockies. Every year I talk about a bad team getting off to a bad start. 2023 was the Oakland Athletics. Now they're just the Athletics. Last year was the Chicago White Sox. Now this year is the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies have let their franchise completely fall apart. They're one of the more popular teams in baseball in terms of attendance. The fans love them there. But they've been bad for quite a while. And it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. And this is really a disgrace of baseball, really. That every year Major League Baseball allows some team to be so bad that they cannot, help them. And I mean emotionally, psychologically help them. Rob Manfred should push these bad teams to be better. And why this is allowed to happen in Major League Baseball is fathomable. I can't understand it. But I'm going to read you from CBS Sports 10 statistics to explain Rockies' historically bad April by the numbers. As Colorado barrels toward MLB record. The Rockies are on pace for a third consecutive 100-loss season. Holy shit. The Colorado Rockies ended April in rare form on Wednesday night, scoring a 2-1 victory over reigning NL Cy Young Award winner Chris Sale and the Atlanta Braves. The Rockies, losers of 8 of their last 9 and 16 of their last 18, are now 5-25 in the year. The 2-game cushion on possession are the worst record in all of Major League Baseball. They're the worst team in baseball right now. Predictably, the Rockies find themselves in undesirable company. Earlier this week, they secured the worst start in modern NL history. More importantly, one of the worst starts in all MLB history, becoming one of 5 clubs to lose at least 25 of their first 30 contests. We have here the 1988 Baltimore Orioles. Lost 26 games in their first 30 games. They finished 54-107. Next up is the Rockies of this year at 25 losses. We don't know what their record's going to be. The 2003 Detroit Tigers were 5-25 as well. They finished 43-119. The 1952 Pittsburgh Pirates were 5-25. They finished at 42-112. The 1932 Red Sox were 5-25. They finished 43-111. Now I would mention the 1962 Mets started the 1962 season 0 for their first 8, but they had a 12 out of 23 winning streak, believe it or not, and they started the season, I believe, 12-19. So that team was a much better team and had a much better start than any of these teams. And I don't think there's any Hall of Famers on the Rockies team this year. There were 2 Hall of Famers on the 62 Mets, and I would mention there were no Hall of Fame players. I don't believe there'll be any Hall of Fame players on the Chicago White Sox. They're historically bad. But here's the scary part. The White Sox finished at 41-121. Right now, the Rockies are on pace to go 27-135. That will shatter not only the worst record, but also the worst winning percentage in baseball history. The Chicago White Sox have lost the most games in modern history, but the 1962 Mets have a worse winning percentage because they won 40 games, lost 120, but that 41 wins got the Rockies to a slightly better winning percentage. So that's what's so crazy. Number 2, on pace for third consecutive 100-loss season. Anyone familiar with the statistical laws that by and large inform how baseball works knows the Rockies are unlikely to continue to play this poorly over the next 162 games. Oh, we'll see about that. Yet, even with some positive regression, they still have a chance to do damage to the record books. Baseball Prospectus Pacoda forecast model has him down for 114 losses, which will represent the most in franchise history. Additionally, it would give them 3 consecutive 100-loss seasons. How rare is that? According to CBS Sports Research Team, only 12 clubs have pulled it off in the modern era. Only 2 have done it since the last round of expansion. First up, the 1938-42 Philadelphia Phillies. They did it 4 times. The 1962-65 New York Mets did it 4 times. But then, like I said, they started the season 12-19. And then they completely collapsed after that. But their start wasn't nearly as bad as this. The 1961-64 Washington Senators, they had 4. The 1909-1912 Boston Doves, Rustlers, Braves. I guess they figured if they changed the name a few more times that they would win some more games. They had 4 years. The 2011-2013 Houston Astros, 3 times. The 2004-2006 Kansas City Royals, 3 times. The 77-79 Toronto Blue Jays, 3 times. The 52-54 Pittsburgh Pirates, those are the Ralph Kiner teams. And then eventually Branch Rickey got rid of Ralph Kiner, and then he signed Roberto Clemente in 55. The 1925-27 Boston Red Sox, 3 times. The 22-24 Boston Braves, 3 times. The Braves franchise up until 1991 were a complete failure. Another team on this list from the same franchise, the 1919-1921 Philadelphia Athletics, 3 times. You know what's interesting about these 2 times I mentioned the A's anyways, that they had great teams prior to this, and they got rid of everybody. Kind of macked it. The 1910-1912 St. Louis Browns, 3 times. The Rockies appear highly likely to join their ranks. They will lose 100 games. Minus -77. This number represents the Rockies' run differential. Yeesh. Yeesh. That's terrible. Boy, oh boy. Number 5, 63 WRC+. Big reason for the Rockies' miserable start. One of at least, to date, the worst offense in MLB history. Wow. We're not exaggerating here. Colorado's hitters have generated a 63 WRC+, or Fangraphs catch-all offensive measure that adjusts for ballpark. Now, they play in the best ballpark in baseball to score runs. Get rid of the humidor, I guess. Number 6, a 5.30 staff ERA. Oh, boy. That's not good. Number 8, 1 non-reliever with more than .5 WAR. Oof. That's not good. That means none of their position players are winning the game. 1 player. Wow. Number 9. Oh, boy. This puts them in bad shape. Next 29 games against winning teams. The Giants, the Tigers, the Padres, the Rangers, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Mets, the Cubs, and then the Mets again. Boy, oh boy, they're going to get clobbered. They're going to get clobbered. Number 10, 16 losses from another milestone. With the Rockies' tough upcoming slate in mind, let's conclude this exercise by getting in front of something else. The possibility of revisiting them and their historic ineptitude again after they clear the 50-game mark. If you're wondering, the Rockies are 16 losses away from cinching the worst 50-game start to a season in modern MLB history. No club has lost more than 40 of their first 50. And only 2 have lost even that many, the 2023 A's and the 1932 Boston Red Sox. Wow. This is really bad. I mean, the fact that this ownership group basically has turned their backs on the fans is a disgrace. It really is. And I've talked a lot about baseball being in big trouble. And you have all these owners that don't want to spend money. You have all these owners that just want to, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, the Pirates are a disgrace. I mean, you have a great young pitching staff, and that guy didn't spend any money. Didn't spend any money. The A's don't have a ballpark, okay, to speak of. Major League Baseball did not go out of their way to try to mend fences with Oakland. Now, I do understand Oakland doesn't have any Major League teams there anymore because obviously the government there is a disaster. The Oakland Coliseum is in a ghetto. We had the Baltimore Orioles, who were bad for a long time. They finally get good. They change ownerships, and the general manager there doesn't want to build a good team. Besides his young players, at some point the new ownership there is going to have to fire that guy. It's tough when you're trying to put a winning team together. You got to get rid of people. And of course, Major League Baseball allowed the whole situation with the Astros to linger on. I mean, this is a real mess. I mean, baseball's in a big pickle. Really not a good situation, to be honest with you, with some of these teams. Obviously, Tampa Bay should not be in Florida at all, let alone, the Rays should not be in Tampa Bay or in Florida at all. They should get the hell out of that state. They had the stadium blown up, basically, by the weather. It makes no sense to have that team there, and they have no fan base. They have zero fan base, including the Marlins, who are stuck with the ballpark, a beautiful ballpark, but they don't care about the Marlins. They care about the only time there's any kind of fun down there is when the Mets go down there, the Cubs go down there, the Yankees go down there, or some big northern team goes down there, or the Dodgers. That's it. Nobody else cares about what happens down there in Miami. And Rob Manfred has done nothing to address the continued cheating in Major League Baseball. He's done nothing about it. They've done stuff with the sticky, the balls, the sticky, the spite attack, but really they've done nothing about that. They've done nothing about the bad umpiring that I saw the past two series against the Mets versus the Nationals. That was a total disaster in terms of officiating. They were at least 10 replays, 10 calls overturned, and then we had the series against the Diamondbacks in New York, where you had all these plays being overturned, and a lot of them being overturned by guys like C.B. Buckner, who's a disastrous umpire, as well as Alfonso Marquez, who's the chief umpire and that was in Washington. So we have all these just a mess. And then, of course, we had the disaster of Pete Rose. Pete Rose passed away. They didn't put him in the Hall of Fame. And Trump's put pressure on them to get him in. And then we have the looming possible strike / lockout at the end of next year, which as a YouTuber is concerning because I saw what happened the last time we had a work stoppage, folks, and it was not good as somebody's trying to earn money here on this platform. I'm going to be honest. So that's very concerning to me as your host. But this is a disaster what's going on in Colorado. And this has been allowed to go on for the last few years. Major League Baseball, and this is why we have a commissioner. I know he's hired by the owners, but he has to push some of these owners, not so much to spend money, but do a better job of running their clubs. And this Rockies team has been run into the ground. And this is one of the great franchises that was in baseball for a long time. Not a good situation at all. Well, let me know what you think about this video, and I'll keep you up to date, see what's going on with the latest debacle, the latest team to flirt with infamy. This team might do it, Well, let me know what you think about this video, and I'll see you later.